When Greg Miller, outdoor writer and hunting expert from Wisconsin, awoke on November 3, 1995, little did he realize what events would transpire shortly after sunrise. With pre-rut aggression at a peak and rattling and grunting working in textbook fashion, Greg had no idea he was about to call in what some believed to be the highest typical scoring whitetail ever recorded on video. From over 400 yards away, the monster whitetail closes the distance quickly. What had to go through Greg's mind? This buck has 12 long typical points, along with split brow tines, and would score in the high 180s typically. This is enough to send any bow hunter into cardiac arrest, but oddly enough, Greg has taken a buck with his bow a few years earlier that scored well over 200 points non-typical. Greg's bow quiver momentarily blocks the camera's view as Greg and the cameraman are frozen still to prevent the onlooking deer to make them out. Fortunately, the all-purpose gray blends in perfectly. Greg knows his shot of a lifetime is about to present itself. Can you believe it? The buck walks into the camera's blind spot, and Greg shoots just below the buck's vitals. And the record-class animal trots off unscathed.
Put my 20-yard pin right on him, figuring it was 20. I thought he looked a little small. Shot was perfect. I whistled him to a stop. He stopped right where I wanted him to, put the 20-yard pin on him, and shot right under his heart, I'm sure. And that didn't cut hair. But after I released it, I realized he was probably a little more than 20. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it's more like 30. But I'm sure the tape's gonna show that was one heck of a whitetail.
And what a whitetail! But the following day, with the weather conditions just right, Greg has put yesterday's misery behind him and decides to hunt the other side of the same field where the big boy came from the previous day. The deer have really been responding to the calls, and Greg hopes for another shot at a decent buck. Greg spots movement coming through the thicket. It's a nice buck. The 10-pointer decides he's not hanging around for this party, but he stops in a thicket. Greg's arrow hits the buck in the upper leg, a low shot. A faint blood trail is finally picked up. And luckily, the sharp broadhead sliced the artery running down the leg, and through persistence, the buck was recovered. Nice going, Greg.
Great deer. Wow, what a brute. What a big deer. This is great. Boy, I'll tell you. He's not the Boone and Crockett I saw yesterday, but he's a great, great deer. We've been working this area for a few days now and seen a lot of bucks. Just had to figure out how to get in the right spot, and I think we were there today. I can't wait to get back and show this to Judd and Bill. Man, oh man.
It's mid-January, and Michael Waddell, cameraman and excellent hunter for the Realtree team, is at a very familiar place, the Encinitas Ranch. Michael's strategy is simple. With the rut winding down, he's chosen to hunt an oat patch also. This patch has proved to be very active during the midday hours as bucks are beginning to take a break from trying to find receptive does and grab a quick and much-needed bite to eat.
Here comes a good buck. Here comes a good buck right here. Coming right to us, feeding on those. He's a good deer. He's a good deer. Yeah, he's a shooter. Yes, sir, he's a shooter. Got a good mass on him. Good mass. Here he comes. He's coming right in front of us. He's gonna feed his way right down in front of us.
A solid 3.5-year-old buck approaches Michael and begins to feed.
Come on, baby. Here we go. Look at his face right here. I can't draw it.
Michael patiently waits for the buck to offer a good, clean broadside shot.
Good hit, good
A
hit.
fantastic shot, a complete pass-through. Let's take another look in slow motion. The Game Tracker Tri-Lock does the job.
He's going right there. He's going down. He's going down. He's down. He's down right there. Good hit. He didn't go far. He didn't go far at all. He's down. This on the 4th day of the hunt. Finally, after moving a lot of tripods and sticking with it and a lot of patience, this nice buck showed up and I was able to make a good shot on him. And I tell you what, I couldn't be happier. He's a nice buck, a good 9-pointer, good mass, good tine length, just a great bow buck. And I tell you, I am tickled to death.
With the Realtree team hunting Montana during the later part of October, the fevered pitch of the rut is still a few weeks away. However, bucks were becoming a little more rambunctious as the days passed. Staying entertained while on stand around these alfalfa fields was definitely not a problem. The high protein level provided by this crop was obviously the key to helping these animals get through the severe winters. Steve was also getting plenty of action as he watched another field in the afternoons. Morning hunting was limited, since all the deer were still in the fields at daybreak, and the risk of spooking literally hundreds of deer was too great. But the evenings, now that was something to behold. Bart has spotted a big-bodied, mature 8-pointer. He is a good-looking buck.
The guy that was here first is not happy about that newcomer. Maybe they'll come this way. Yeah, here they come. He's coming now.
A little aggression is being shown as territorial infringement becomes the topic of the day.
He's not going to let him stop. I run him out of this field. That second one's the best buck. No doubt. I think that second one's the best deer. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's him.
The more Steve studies the events unfolding, the more he admires the dominant buck. The bigger 8-point is not going to be satisfied until the subordinate buck is completely out of the field and away from his does. The scraping behavior sends a message of intimidation. Great shot, Bart. He won't go far. The Federal Premium High Energy Ammo does the job.
There's some more. Right there. This hill. I know he couldn't have gone too far because he was hit pretty good. Right. Hot dog, there he is. Golly, what a buck. Oh man, yeah. Oh, golly. Look at how big bodied that deer is. This is a brute right here. There he is, folks. Montana river bottom whitetail, milk river bottom whitetail right there.
Now that's a handsome deer. And join Bill for a great hunt south of the border.
And wind's coming right into me. We're gonna be looking down some.
Unfortunately, temperatures were a little on the warm side, limiting mature buck movement to a minimum. But as you're about to see, Bill encounters a dandy buck. A handsome, mature 8-pointer eases into the clearing for a late afternoon rendezvous with the girls. He's a good buck. Good shot, Bill. Way to go.
I knew he was down. I saw him fall. Oh, what a nice Mexico buck. A solid 8-pointer. Got a kicker off the side. I want you to look at this rack. Probably the G2's in here, which this point right there, probably, I'm gonna say maybe 10 and a half, 11 inches long on both sides. His G3's probably a good 7 inches, maybe even 8 inches. But a nice, nice Mexico buck.